What's up, people? This is the upload with Tut Gaddafi. Yes, I'm back with a new Detroit Lions podcast. That's the 2021-2022 season is almost underway, almost upon us. Let's dive into things. Well, this season we will not have Matthew Stafford. We know February, this past February, you remember Matthew Stafford got traded for Jared Goff. The Rams sent Jared Goff to Detroit and a couple first-round picks and a third-round pick for Matthew Stafford. Yes, this season, we will not be starting the season with former quarterback Matthew Stafford, who is now an LA Ram. The Matthew Stafford departure after 12 years, yes, 12 years. Let's go over some of Matthew Stafford's stats that he did with the Detroit Lions. His career with Detroit, 62.6 passing completion, 45,109 passing yards, 282 touchdowns, and 144 interceptions with a rating of 89.9. Last year, he threw a completion of 64.2%, 4,084 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. When Matthew Stafford became a Detroit Lion, 2009, he had injury problems. People thought he would be a China doll. First couple seasons was injury prone. Then he dived into things, leading the Detroit Lions to 3 wild card appearances. All 3 were losses. 2011, they went 10-6, finished second in the division, lost in the wild card. 2014, finished 11-5, finished second in the division, lost in the wild card. In 2016, finished 9-7, second in the division, lost in the wild card. Matthew Stafford, 3 playoff appearances, all 3 were losses. So the Matthew Stafford fairy tale is over in Detroit. Now let's move to things. Let's get to the media. When I say media, I'm talking ESPN, CBS, and Fox Sports, etc., etc. On consensus. The media had the Lions win total at 5 wins. I told the people in my podcast I got the Lions winning between 3 to 4 games. I said that in my Detroit Lions draft podcast after day 1 and day 2. I said 3 to 4 wins. I'm still feeling like 3 to 4 wins. And it's past draft, it's past free agency. I wasn't really happy with the draft. I feel like they passed on people. Devontae Smith, when you knew you needed wide receiver. I feel like they passed on Terrace Marshall Jr. and other players, Asante Samuel Jr. in the second round. I still feel that way about the Detroit Lions. 3 to 4 wins. They got a new regime. Dan Campbell as head coach. He's also a tight end guru. And Brad Holmes as the general manager. Dan Campbell quoted this past offseason, "I'm not going to wipe your butt, you're going to wipe your own." For the people who don't know what that means, I'm not going to wipe your butt, you're going to wipe your own. What he mean is he's not going to make up for your mistakes on the field. So whoever it is, whether it's a Jeff Okudah who let a receiver get past him on a route for a touchdown, or Trey Flowers letting a running back get past him in the middle and go down the field all the way for a touchdown, that's what that means. I'm not going to wipe your butt, you're going to wipe your own. And I'm going to hold him accountable for that quote. I like that quote. But he will have to prove that quote as the season develops and go forward. Not Jared Goff. I'm nicknaming him the helpless quarterback. Why does I say that? Because the Detroit Lions did nothing to get him help in the offseason. And Jared Goff is with his former GM from the Rams, Brad Holmes. I don't know if y'all going to believe they're going to do it the Rams way, like Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn. They wanted y'all to believe in the Patriot way, which did not happen, which led to them getting fired, both of them getting fired last season. Now it's like the Rams way. Brad Holmes is here. Jared Goff is here. Michael Brockers is here. Jared Goff, the helpless quarterback, last season posted with the Rams 3,952 yards, 20 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and he fumbled the ball 4 times. That's when he had Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee and Gerald Everett and Cam Akers as his weapons on offense. This year, his weapons is different. I feel like his receiving corps is the most horriblest receiving corps in the league. He's the helpless quarterback. His number one receiver is Tyrell Williams, when we all know he's a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 type wide receiver. But he'll be playing the wide receiver 1 week 1 versus the 49ers. Their number 2 receiver is Brashard Perryman. And their number 3 receiver is Amon-Ra St. Brown, the rookie. And Quintez Cephas, I guess, is going to be the 4th receiver. They had a receiver, Tom Kennedy, in preseason, who looked it good. Against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Against the Colts, he didn't play. I don't know if he'll be getting cut from the squad, but you got Roxy Cut coming up. His receiving corps is horrible. And he got tight end TJ Hawkinson. I feel like that's his best receiver at tight end. And they're coming in with that offensive line. Ricky Penny Sewell, Vitae, Ragnow, Jackson, and Decker. Some experts believe is one of the top offensive lines in the league. You know, with Ricky Jonah-Jackson last year making an all-rookie first team. We'll see. They got DeAndre Swift at running back, Jamar Williams at backup running back. Jared Goff will be the starter. The helpless quarterback. I was just going over his stats, 3,952 yards, 20 touchdowns, 13 NOs, and that was with a good Rams offense. This year, it's a little different. I don't even think he sniffed 3,200 passing yards. I don't even think he threw 20 touchdowns, maybe between 15 to 18. I'm guessing he probably threw the most interceptions in his career. I'm guessing maybe 15 to 20 interceptions. Which brings me to which Lion have the most to prove this season? Is it the second-year cornerback Jeff Okudah, who got his first interception against DeAndre Hopkins? He will be going against DeAndre Hopkins again. We'll get to that schedule. He'll be going against DeAndre Hopkins again this season. Which Lion has the most to prove? Okuda or DeAndre Swift? DeAndre Swift got mentored from Adrian Peterson last year. Kind of got mentored from Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon Johnson is a bust. But DeAndre Swift, is he going to carry what he did last year into this year? Or is it Trey Flowers with the most to prove? Who came here with Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, the Patriots way. Now he switched from defensive end to linebacker. And we're going to get to that because the reason why they're in the 3-4 defense this year. 3 nose tackles in the front and 4 linemen in the middle with 4 secondary players in the back. So they're going to a 3-4 defense and Trey Flowers moved to linebacker. Can this defense give the offense any chances of winning any games this season? Because I feel like their offense is going to be horrible. And they drafted rookies, Penny Sewell, passed on Devontae Smith in the first round. So people is going to be looking at this Penny Sewell story, this narrative. And in 5 years, when we look back at that draft, will people say, wow, they passed on Devontae Smith. They passed on Patrick Surtain II. They passed on Micah Parsons. Then drafted Levi Aruzariq and Alim McNeil. Passed on guys like Terrace Marshall Jr. and Ashantae Samuel Jr. Speaking of Penny Sewell, he had a top 2 rookie, low grade for the preseason, right along with Jamar Chase. I know he's switching from the opposite side of offensive tackle. He's playing opposite side, unlike what he was doing back in his college day. So some people were saying he's still trying to adjust to that. And speaking of him adjusting to that, it's going to be week 1 versus the 49ers. I don't know if the 49ers named a starting quarterback, but they go against the 49ers week 1. Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance, who knows who started, but it really don't matter. I feel like the 49ers is going to win this game. I feel like the 49ers is going to win this game. I got the 49ers winning -10. And in a lot of people's lines, it's probably the highest line out of all these set of games. I got them -10. Some people probably got them -7. If it's Garoppolo or Lance, it really don't matter. I feel like they still get the win. Got Raheem Mostert at running back, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and Mohamed Sanu at wide receiver. Richie James is out right now. George Kittle at tight end. He's healthy. Kyle Juszczyk at fullback. And that nice offensive lineman, Trent Williams, Laken Tomlinson. He got drafted by the Detroit Lions. They got Alex Mack, Aaron Banks, and Mike McGlinchey. That's a nice offensive line. Speaking of that defense, that 3-4 defense, that's the offense they will be going against. Nick Bosa, he's returning. They got Greenlaw on defense. Canlaw, Warner, Jimmy Ward, no Richard Sherman, Ha Clinton Dix, Robbie Gould at kicker, Richie James at returner. Probably be out that game. If the Lions want to win this one, their offense is just going to have to come out clicking. They're going to have to puzzle that 49ers defense. Because it's the same old Lions, 92 seasons. Their overall record, 567 wins, 681 losses, 33 ties. In the playoffs, they're 7-13. When they go 3-13, they end up with the second pick. 2002 they was 3-13, and 2006 they was 3-13. They got the second pick. They drafted Charles Rogers, and they drafted Calvin Johnson. 2019 they almost had the second pick. if it wasn't for a tag game. They went 3-13. They went 3-12 and won. Got the third pick, drafted Jeff Okudah. And speaking of going 3-13.